Today we have two iPhones. The left one is water damaged, the right one dropped.
These phones are not working, and I'll try to make one good phone out of these parts from both phones.
Powered on. I didn't try to power them on. And the battery.
So I have an extra battery just in case if I need to. And yeah, these are both iPhone 5s. They're both the same. And that's good because I could change parts between them and see what's happening. One was dropped really bad and another one was dropped also, but in water. Let's start with the water damaged one. From the beginning, I imagined that the water damaged iPhone is gonna have lower chances of working. It's this one, and there's a problem here. There was a missing part from here. There was the cover. See in the description, you will find the links to videos on how to change the battery on this phone, and it shouldn't be like this. There are some parts missing, some covers, so this was opened before. That's not a good sign. But this LCD screen with the touch screen, I'm really hoping that it's gonna work. What I will be trying to do is swap the screens between the two phones. Simple, right? The thing is that I cannot just swap the screens. I have to change this fingerprint sensor between them also. And looking around on this water damaged phone, there doesn't seem to be much water indication, but some points they looks a bit strange. So what I'm trying here, I'll just try to power it on and just make sure that it's not working. So yeah, it doesn't power on. I'm not gonna bother to go further and see why it's not working. Water damage is it's a really bad thing. It's very difficult to fix a phone that was water damaged. So yeah, that one is not gonna work probably. But there is a chance the screen is okay. And we have the other phone that was dropped. The screen is bad, but the rest of the parts should be fine. So you see that's a pretty nasty drop. Yeah, just removing the SIM card tray before opening it to make sure, just to have a look in the phone and see that it's in a better state than the previous one. I'm speeding things up here. This video is not to show you how to change the battery. You can see my other video for the battery. The link is in the description. And also how to open the phone, but you can get an idea from here. But in that one is much more detailed and you can do it with your eyes closed. Well, not really. Okay, we're ready to open the second phone, the dropped one, and this looks better here. The cover on the cable of the fingerprint sensor is there, and also the cover for the screen connectors. That looks how it should be. So I'm going to remove the screen from the dropped phone. Also disconnecting the battery just to make sure there is no power on the board and everything. So this is just 3 steps. That's it, it's removed. Now the problem I have that because it was dropped, the frame also was bent a little, so I will have to straighten it later. But before that, I need to swap the fingerprint sensors between them. Still, I just want to make sure that this works before I try to do that. So I'm putting now the screen from the water damaged phone into the dropped phone, and just to see that it powers on and it shows anything.
Oh, we have the battery. Yes, low battery. This means the phone is gonna work. Give it a thumbs up. So let's not celebrate too early, but it seems like a drop tested phone can survive better than a water damaged phone.
Yeah, before going so far, we have to make them work actually. So now I'm showing you how you swap the fingerprint sensors between the screens, and the reason for this is that the fingerprint sensor on the LCD, the digitizer I think it's called, it's tied to the logic board of the phone. So if you just change this with a new one, it will not work. The fingerprint reader will not work. But if I change the LCD and I put the old digitizer, the old fingerprint sensor on the phone, it continues to work normally. So that's what I'm doing here. First one I'm doing is the one from the water damaged phone, the one that I won't need. And you see I even broke a piece from there, and it's good to do this one that you don't need first to get used to it, how it works. And there is no problem if you break something. You will not need this one because it's tied to the phone that is not working. Yeah, to the phone, to the water damaged phone that it's not gonna work. I need the one, the digitizer sensor from the dropped phone. It's one screw, a bit of glue pad in there, and it just comes out. And it had the cover before I removed the cover, 2 screws. So it's 3 screws in total for this part. And now I'm just pushing the button from below, and there is a bit of glue on the edges. It just comes out just like that. This one I will not use, but the next one that I'm doing now, I will use it because it's the good one. So I have to be a bit more careful. That's the damaged screen. This is the good fingerprint sensor, and it comes out. It's the same way I remove it, and to put it back, it's basically a reverse order as you remove it. Just try to put it in the center hole where it's supposed to be. The glue on the edges will be sticky, and attach it to the frame, and attach this, just checking that it's centered first, and screw on all the screws. You have the cover held by 2 screws. Pressing on the button to make sure that it's still clicky, it feels right, and it does, so it's pretty good. Now just the last step here is to press down the adhesive pad and screw the last screw that stays attached to the flat flex cable of the sensor, and that's it. The sensor is back in place, and now it's ready to use. I'm just gonna do a test. Yeah, it's still working. Oh, that's nice. It will need to be charged, but this is the least of the problems these phones had. So from 2 bad phones, we have 1 good phone.
Give it a big thumbs up if you like this. So we have old phone, some jack parts. Okay, now just closing it.
Yeah, and that's when the problem started. The frame is not straight anymore because of the drop, and the screen wouldn't go properly in, so I have to use a bit of force. I used some pliers here just to make this edge the same shape as it should be. You can compare to the original frame, and if you feel really brave, you could change the whole parts and move them into the new frame, but I didn't want to go that far. And just pressing the frame a bit to it's aluminium, so it's not very hard to change its shape, and the rest is just normal. Just closing the phone like you can see here or in the other video with the battery replacement. That's the same, but here just I'm telling you to be sure the screws are, it's important to put those screws on that plate in the right place, not to change their position, because they are a specific length and you could damage the motherboard, logic board, if you put the wrong screw in the wrong place. Here just closing the digitizer sensor, the fingerprint sensor, closing the phone. Yeah, this is pretty much it. And here I wasn't very, I mean, maybe I could have changed the shape a little bit better, but I think it's pretty good because it's pretty much like how it would normally be, even if it wasn't dropped. Best part is that the phone is still working and there was no need for any parts. Just combining 2 phones and using what was good from the water damaged phone. I'm a bit surprised actually that the LCD was still working, but it does, so that's pretty good. Now one phone is in really great shape, and the water damaged one, well, that's recycling. So yeah, just make sure when you have some extra parts like this, just don't throw them in the garbage bin, take them to a recycling point, or if you want, keep them to swap parts later. Just don't forget to close also the screws on the bottom of the phone. Tighten all the screws and then let it charge until the battery is full, and use it as normal. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video is helpful. And don't throw away your old phone. If you have another one that's the same, you might be able to save some parts from it and reuse them. If it's an iPhone or any other brands, it doesn't have to be an iPhone. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you liked the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and share the video with your friends. Give a big thumbs up to let us know that you like this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.